We're going to be looking at the Kingsmead Book Fair. It's more than just a marketplace for books. It's a space where people flock together to share stories as well as build community and explore new ideas, but also celebrate creativity at large. So a place where people also unite and they're captivated by the magic of books. They're immersed in the joy of reading and the beauty of literature. So we're joined now by Lisa Palmer, Kingsmead College Executive Head, for more. Lisa, very good morning on that note, and thank you for joining us at this hour here on the SABC.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and good morning to you.
Well, let's delve straight in. The main goal of the book fair itself, but even just incorporating the Young Writers competition and how it aims to support young writers. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Obviously, being a school, education, community, reading, those things are so important to us. They're vital. And what we did with the Kingsmead Book Fair was bring in this element of the Young Writers competition. And that, in fact, has gone nationwide. And we have hundreds of entries, and we just get the most wonderful, diverse writing from all over the country. And I think that's added an extra element to the Kingsmead Book Fair. So the books are not just for adults, they're not just for, older people who read. We are hoping as well to bring in the young adolescents to read. And we've even got, in fact, a children's program where we bring book characters to life and bring in the whole community. It is a whole community event, not just a school event.
Thank you for speaking to that and painting that picture, Lisa. The competition also having grown since its launch back in 2022. Tell us how it's also impacted the participants at large. I'm asking this because obviously if we just look at the reality on the ground, where we saw disturbing stats about 80% of grade 4 children struggling to read for meaning. How does this competition address challenges such as this?
So the competition starts a number of weeks before the actual book fair, and it's, as I say, launched through schools, through communities. We try and reach as wide an audience as possible, and try and get as diverse entries as possible, which is fantastic. And I think that it's just really highlighted that anyone can actually write, and we are promoting reading as well as the writing. So the writing part links to the reading, links to the book fair, it links to the title and the topic and what we try and do there. So it really all comes together at the end.
Was there a theme for this year? And if we're just looking at the culture of reading, how that aids to foster that as well, particularly for children between 6 and 18. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Certainly. So the main book fair is called Birds of a Feather Flock Together and Bookmark Together. That's the spin that we put on it. And you'll notice that all our posters, etc., have beautiful birds, but birds whose wings are made out of books. And so we brought it in terms of that. And then the Young Writers was all about planting seeds and growing ideas. So you could write about a seed, or you could write about a plant, or you could write about growth, but it obviously metaphorical as well, not just literal. So we've got the most stunning entries.
And the genres and the styles as well, what was incorporated or encouraged on that front? Tell us a little bit more about the experiences and the feedback that you also received as a result.
I think it was really very wide. It was, as I say, some I've read a couple, The Magic Seed, planting a garden, but it was people's own experiences, young adolescents' own experiences through growth and through experience. It was just beautiful, I must admit. So a variety we received.
Okay, that's fair to say. Lisa, if we're going to measure the success of this competition, and even just as we look at the plans from here into its future growth and development, what do you envision on that front?
So I think we'd like to make sure that we attract a wide audience. I think that's really, we got entries from, as I say, all over the country, but we've got to make sure that that's sustained and that it's also in different communities, that it's not just in certain schools, that we reach all our state schools and that we have a wide variety. I think that that's what we'd like to do. We'd like to grow the competition. We'd like to have more entries, although I'm sure the judges might not agree with that, but we really, really would, because it's so important for our young people to be reading and writing. And if we can spark an interest in that, that will be ideal.
Absolutely, particularly as you also, work in capacity building, but also reading aloud for meaning. Tell us about the exciting endeavors as well in relation to the book fair at large.
Certainly. So as I said, it's more than just the day. There's a build up to the day. We have a book drive for our community. We try and get into libraries. We try and support libraries who might not have books. So that's a big community drive that we have at the moment. We have a book week, which leads up. We dress in character. We drop everything and read. We drop everything and read at certain points in the week. And I think what we're trying to do is exactly that, just foster this love for reading and love for books. We have a book pop-up store right here on the campus, which has been busy all week. So we really are encouraging anybody in the community to make use of that and to come and to browse and just enjoy reading again. And I think books, literature, which is just so important to what we do as educationalists.
Absolutely. Readers are leaders. I think that's what our former president, Nelson Mandela, echoed. Lisa, thank you for being part of that initiative and for leading the future as well. I'm Lisa Palmer this morning, Kingsmead College Executive Head, talking about the magic of books and, of course, the vibrant community at the Kingsmead Book Fair. Thank you again for joining us at this hour. Let's leave the conversation there.